name's Dave Milliken. Today I'm going to teach you how to play Elderly Woman Behind the Counter in a Small Town by Pearl Jam. If you'd like to first hear me play the song all the way through, please click on the link that's in the description below. This song is not too hard. There's only about 5 chords. The strumming rhythm may be new to some of you, but just follow along and you'll get it no problem. We start on a D chord. And your strumming pattern goes down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. And that first down strum is louder than the other strums. That's indicated by the symbol that looks like a greater than sign, which is telling you to accent that strum. So loud, soft, 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 soft. Whenever you're learning a strum, you should try looping the pattern to get the hang of it. So if I do it a few times in a row, when you're going slow, you could count this 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and then gradually try to speed that up a bit faster. Faster still. Full speed. The next chord we're moving to is a C add 9. Same strum. Down, down, up, down, up. So now you could practice moving between those 2 chords. Notice that as you move from the D to the C add 9, that your 3rd finger can stay where it is. So don't lift that one, just lift the others. And then place what you need for the C add 9. Slowly back and forth. And build up your speed on that as well. And that may take you time, right? Don't worry about getting it all fast right away. Learn more of the song and gradually speed the whole thing up. The 3rd chord is the G. And now you're staying on the G for 2 times that pattern. Notice that when you're moving from the C add 9 to the G, the 3rd and 4th fingers can stay where they are. And just the 2nd and 1st fingers need to move. And they're just moving up 1 string. So now I would practice looping the first 2 bars. Until you're comfortable with that and you can do it fast enough. Just a note here about the time signature. We're in 6/8, and I was saying before, if you're going slow, you could count 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and... But really, once you're going faster, that's not the way you'll count. So you want to think of it as being 2 beats per bar, which is where those accents are, right? 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and which will make more sense when you're going fast. 1, 2, 1, or 1 and 2 and 1. In the 3rd bar, we have the pattern twice on the C add 9. And then in the 4th bar, G over B. Now this just means it's a G chord, but your lowest note should be a B note, which is here on the A string. So you don't want this 6th string to sound. So you could just try to be really accurate with your pick and not hit that string, but the more reliable thing to do is slightly change the placement of your first finger on your left hand. So what I'm doing here is with the tip of that finger, I'm touching string 6. So even if I accidentally hit that string, it's not going to make any noise. It's blocked. So these 4 bars make up a pattern that you could loop for the verse of the song, and actually the chorus as well. I seem to recognize your face. That's the first line of the verse, and then there's 3 more. Pearl Jam doesn't have any intro for the song, but if you wanted to have the guitar come in first before you start to sing, then you could just play through those 4 bars one time. Then the bass comes in the second time through, so the variations that Jeff Ament plays on the bass influence the overall sound, and if you want to, you can try to capture some of that on the guitar as well. You could also just keep doing what we did the first time through, that would sound fine. So for instance, Jeff usually plays a B in the second bar. So instead of playing the full G chord, you might want to play a G over B, because that will more faithfully capture the sound that the band has at that point. And also sometimes in the 4th bar, he moves from a B to a G. So you'd be doing the first half of the bar as a G over B, and then switching to a G there for the second half of the bar. So here's what it sounds like with those variations in there slowly. And faster. And if you like this bass movement and you want to make it more pronounced, you can create more space between the bass note of the chord and the remaining high part of the chord by muting the string in between. So for instance, on the C add 9, instead of playing it the way we did before, you can take the first finger off and block the 4th string by leaning the second finger down a little bit. And similarly on the G over B, you lean the first finger. So not only am I blocking this string 6, but now I'm trying to block string 4 as well. And on the G, I take my first finger off, lean the second finger down, and I'm blocking that string. So for the first 3 chords there, instead of getting, you get, so that's making this bass line come out a little bit more. Here it is with the vocal. Haunting, familiar, yeah. I can't seem to place it. Cannot find a candle of thought to light your name. And I did the 3rd line the same as the 2nd line. Another nice variation is the change in the strumming pattern that happens in certain places. It happens especially when you're changing sections, like moving from the verse to a pre-chorus, and it happens a lot in the chorus. You first hear it in the 4th bar of the 4th line as we head into the pre-chorus. The bar starts the normal way, down, down, up, down, up, but then there's 3 accented down strums. Down, down, down. So that's 1 and up, 2 and up. Loop that pattern. Faster. So here's the 4th line. Lifetimes are catching up. me. Now we come to the pre-chorus that sounds like this. All these changes taking place. I wish I'd seen the place, but no one's ever taken me. So now we have a bar of C add 9 with the normal strum. Down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. That moves to A. Same strum. In the next two bars, 15 and 16, there's that symbol which is telling you to play the same two bars again. And then you get that again for the next two bars. So basically you're playing C add 9 to A 3 times. And then you're moving to E minor. And you're doing the same strum but for 2 bars. So here's the pre-chorus all the way through without the vocal and a bit slower. A couple of things about the chords here. I'm fingering the A chord with my second finger on the 4th string and my 3rd finger on the 2nd string. This allows me to get those 2 fingers all the way up to the fret where they should be. And then you put the 1st finger on the 3rd string and jam it in as close as you can. And I find this better than, you'll see a lot of people play A this way. The problem with playing A this way is that you have the 3rd finger is perfectly at the fret. The 2nd finger is not bad, it's sort of 1 level back, but then the 1st finger is quite far from the fret. And unless you're pressing super hard, you're likely to get a bit of a buzz on that string. So by using this fingering, you've got 2 fingers in perfect position and 1 finger 1 level back. And that means you don't need to press as hard, your hand can be more relaxed. And now it has the added advantage of when you're moving to the E minor, that 2nd finger is already in the right place. So you'll just lift everything except the 2nd finger and then put the 1st finger down and you've got your E minor. And remember that as you move between the C add 9 and the A, that 3rd finger is common to both chords on the same string. So you just slide that finger from the 3rd fret to the 2nd fret for the A and slide the 3rd finger back up if you're going back to the C add 9. One other thing about the pre-chorus is that there is an electric guitar noodling around in the background, and it's sometimes hitting this G note while you're playing the A chord. So it actually creates the sound of an A7. So you could use that as a variation instead of the A if you like, sometimes, all the time, or if it's easier for you. So the chorus sounds like this. Hearts and thoughts, they fade away. Hearts and thoughts, they fade away. So that strumming variation happens in the second half of the second bar. And then it happens in the second half of the last bar the second time through. In case you're not familiar with first endings and second endings, I'll just go through this quickly. As you're playing through this, you're playing G, C add 9, G over B, C add 9. Then you'll see there's a bracketed number 1 up at the top. That's the first ending, where you play G over B, G. And then there's a repeat sign in the tab and the staff, which is the 2 dots, and that's telling you to go back to the matching 2 dots at the beginning of that line. So then you do again D, C add 9, G over B, C add 9. Now it's the second time you're playing through this, so you go to the second ending, which is the bracketed number 2, at the end of the line, which is G over B, B. Now chord-wise it's the same both times, but the strumming is different the second time. So that second time through we're going to have B, C, G over B, down, 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 C, G over B, G, with those 3 downs on the G chord at the end there. Now the song continues by repeating sections that you've already learned. So there's a verse, a pre-chorus, a verse, and a chorus. Have a look at the form and get familiar with the order of the different parts of the song. The last chorus is different for a couple of reasons. Number 1, it's longer, and number 2, it has some changes in dynamics, meaning there are parts where it is louder and parts where it is softer. So the first change is when that chorus comes in, the drums drop out. So you get twice through with no drums, and then the drums come back in again. So the guitar is doing the same thing all the way through, but if you're playing by yourself, you're not getting that change in intensity, that change in dynamics that a band is giving you by the drummer dropping out. So if we're playing on our own, it's nice if we can capture some of that difference in dynamics. So you'll be coming out of the last verse. Here's the last line of that verse. Hearts and thoughts, they fade away. Hearts and thoughts, they fade away. So part of it is in the voice, that you sing a lot quieter. And the other thing is that you just have to be a lot less forceful with your right hand. You want to really make that strum as quiet as you can, while still having the accents in there. You've got to have those strums that are louder be louder than the other strums, but everything is brought down a bit. So hopefully you can hear that in what I just did. So you'll have 2 times through that are quiet, and then 2 that are back to normal again. And then the song starts to really fade out, which is appropriate when he's singing Fade Away. It gets quieter and quieter until it's just barely the voice and the guitar there that you can hear. So that happens over the last 2 times through, the last 2 and a bit. You have the electric guitar dropping out, you have the drums moving to a quieter kind of pattern, you have the instruments coming down in the mix. So you could just start playing quieter and quieter until the crowd goes wild, or you can come up with some kind of ending, which is what I did. I like to go, hearts and thoughts, they fade away. So I'm doing the normal chord progression. But just hitting the C at 9 one time, and then the G one time. And singing it pretty quiet and playing it pretty quiet. Okay, everyone, that's everything you need to be able to play the song all the way through. And I hope you enjoy learning the song. Like I said earlier, please check out my version of the song. I play it all the way through. You'll get a good sense of how it can be put together. And you can get that by clicking on the link in the description below. So my name's Dave Milliken. Please check out the rest of my channel. Lots of tutorials there, lots of performance videos. And please like and subscribe and comment. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you.